Hello. Here the critical questions started to launch and be directed on Taliban. What about women's rights? What about women's work? What about consensual adultery? What about gay rights? Are you going to establish a democratic country, or you're going to implement Sharia? Sorry, that's how they pronounce it, which is Sharia, divine law. You know, they want to embarrass us by the divine law. Divine law is not really, suitable. Does not suit them. Man-made law is better. Well, I agree with them if the religion is false. Yeah. But if it's the religion of God Almighty, how can we respond to them and bargain and compromise? There is no compromise or bargaining when it comes to the matter of Allah's law. Check it out first. If it's true religion or false, then let's talk about it. All right. So, will you establish a Sharia law or a democracy? Stop it! Hypocrites! Why don't you ask AlSisi this question? Are you going, how long you're going to be crushing your people, killing them, suppressing them, depriving them from the right of expression? No way. But AlSisi has something that it's worth is ignoring what he's doing. He is the real protector of the Israelites on the borders. That's why, no matter what he does in Egypt, he swallows the whole money. He builds palaces just like castles, like what his grandpa did, Pharaoh. No matter how many they have been killed and how hundreds of thousands are being in jail, it's okay. He is the protector of Israel, the special chosen people of God. You know what it means, special chosen people of God? That let all people die in exchange for them. That's what they said in the Bible. Since you became my beloved special people, I will let people die in exchange for your life. See? That's why. Look. We can discuss about democracy. But when we see those people, they call themselves democracy advocates. But at the same time, we see them hypocrites. They use democracy whenever it suits them. They speak about it. Now they ask Taliban, what about democracy? What about women's rights? The question is, why don't you ask AlSisi, your special dictator friend of Donald Trump? That's how he called him. My favorite dictator friend. What about Ibn Zayed? Can you ask Ibn Zayed to give people freedom? A lot of people are in jail. No one can speak out. As long as he is in our pocket and he is our puppet, okay? Ignore what he does, no matter what he does. Ignore. I wonder, why did France receive AlSisi? Heroes welcome. Heroes kind of welcoming. And gave him the highest medal, the hero, in France. And at the same time, the human rights organization is calling for him to hand over the perpetrators of Rabia. What happened in Rabia? Almost 3,000 people, they were killed in 1 hour. Yet, France, the first advocate for freedom, equality, brotherhood. I did not mean Islamic Brotherhood. Really, I'm innocent. I'm talking about the Brotherhood, not Muslim Brotherhood, because I'm afraid if I speak, if I use the word Muslim Brotherhood, I may be taken to custody. Sorry, don't misunderstand me. I'm saying Brotherhood, not Muslim Brotherhood. Yeah. So why don't you ask Ibn Zayed for freedom while people can breathe air, yes, but they cannot breathe freedom. It's because of who? It's because of your regime, your system that made people living in hell. Iraqan living in hell because of the militia that you planted and rooted. Because you wanted the Sunni people to be dominated, not to be dominant. That's what Paul Bremer said. We ended by our coalitions, by occupying Iraq, we ended 1,000 years of Sunni domination. So now we know what's the reason why you guys went to Iraq. And you are smashing cars while people are in them by your tankers. I saw it by my eyes. No one told me. It's been released and published, and you can find it on YouTube even. How those devil soldiers, they were putting this devil music inside their tankers and they kill whoever they want and nobody can ask them. See, you have to learn about democracy. You have to learn, you have to implement it. Yes, you must implement it, but you allow devil worship religion. They have churches. They have temples. They have satanic Bible. You allow them. You had no concerns about devil worship churches and people. Despite the fact you always discover women and men victims. They victimize them. They are victimized. They are sacrificed because they have sacrifices. This is a part of their ceremonies. They kill children. They kill men and women, yet they are still approved, endorsed. Not only that, but there are many politicians, presidents, ministers who belong to the devil worship. Now, you allow the devil worship church and religion. Why don't you allow the religion of Allah to be applied by their own people? I mean, the Afghanis are so far away from America, from Europe, yet you still have a lot of big concerns. Which is worst, Islam or the devil worship? Look, if you have no problem with the devil worship, but you have problem with the religion which your people daily convert to, and yearly you have something like 20,000 people that convert to Islam. If you have no problem with the devil worship, but you have problem and concerns against the divine worship, Allah's worship, then you have no justice. And you're not ready to reason. Since you allow the devil worship, allow Allah's worship. That's unfair. People are saying after we converted to Islam, we feel peace and happy. And you can realize that after they change their way, they become Muslims, you find them following the straight path. There are no more drug addicts, there are no more gangs, members, etc., etc. They're not thieves anymore. They leave all kinds of corruption. Yet you still have problem with them, while having no problem with the devil worship. What kind of civilization is this? That allows the devils to be worshipped, but they don't allow Allah's servants to worship him. what shall I say? And why you have concerns against the Afghanis, while you have no concerns about Ibn Zayed, about a lot of dictators whom you are dealing with. Before turning to Afghanistan, showing your concerns there, go west, please, and try to fix this system in the United Nations, which established dictatorship by giving the full power to 5 deifying countries to raise the veto whenever there is a case against them. Go there. Go there first, then go to Afghanistan and check democracy there. But fix this problem. Fix this dictatorship. This is a jungle law. If in the United Nations we find this problem, that means democracy had not been established yet. Since there is veto in the United Nations, since there's veto, this veto, it indicates the law of jungle. Because when 5 deifying countries, they are allowed to do whatever they want, and if anybody objected, then they can raise their hands as veto. And then any wrong thing they did, if they occupied countries, if they killed, no matter what they did, veto, finish. Where's the democracy here? Where's the justice? Nothing. When you find democracy, when 2 want to fornicate, and they're over 18, don't forget the 18. 18 is very important. Now in schools, kids, they are pregnant, and they're 12 years old. Anyway, when women wear the bikini on the beaches, that's okay. When you have Barbès, Barbès Street in France? I've seen that, and I've seen those. Even their dogs are gays, and I used to say to them, c'est un chien pédé, il faut l'emporter au Barbès. Yeah. To have these prostitution places, here's the freedom. But if a Muslim woman decided to put the mask, which Allah forced you nowadays, men and women, to wear the mask, no. You have to pay a fare, which is not fair, for wearing the mask. And now, the opposite now. Yeah. If you don't put the mask, you may be paying a fare for that, a punishment. So, let me say this. Are you afraid that Islam, if it was established now in Afghanistan, it may rapidly run to reach Europe and America? Believe me, I believe that. And you always have conferences, you declared it in your TV channels that Islam is the fastest growing religion in America, in the West. Fastest growing religion. That's why I know you have to struggle against Islam. You have to occupy Sham, Syria. You have to let it be under the filthy, bloody hands of Bashar al-Assad, pretending to be against him, while his embassies in the West are still working. What does it mean when his embassies are still working and endorsed officially by all the Western authorities? You know what it means? It means God bless Bashar al-Assad. No matter what he does, because no matter what he does, it's still better than Syria being dominated by the fanatic, that's what you call them, the fanatic Sunni people. It's still better. That's why we are living in hell in the Muslim Arabian world because of your democracy. As a result, Gaddafi's jails were filled with prisoners shifted to him by the British people, and that was a scandal. Even the hypocrite Italian prime minister, he was kissing the hand of Gaddafi, kissing his hands. So people are not happy with the democracy because you did not look. Let's say it's 100% correct. Why can't you, Western people, implement it? Why do you let us live in hell? And you bless those dictators such as Mubarak, Sisi, Ibn Zayed, Ibn Ali. Isn't democracy attractive enough to the people so you don't need to force it? What you're doing, you are forcing people to accept your democracy. You have to humble yourself and try to fix it. It has problems. It consists within itself dictatorship because of those 5 greatest countries who are making themselves gods. Name them. Innumerous dictator leaders that they have been given credibility. So stop your hypocrisy. I've been watching by my eyes those big signs in Hyde Park, written by not Muslims, no, by British people. And the signs were written, they wrote in these signs, democracy is hypocrisy. So, O people of democracy, stop your hypocrisy and leave the Afghani people live in peace and implement what. Don't you believe in democracy? Let those people choose what they want. They want to be led by Islam. And you are conspiring against them to deprive them from that. Iran gifted Afghanistan to you, to America. And they kept saying this. Without us, you were not able to occupy Afghanistan. And without America, Iran would have not been able to occupy Iraq. What are you doing against Iran? Hypocrisy. You show always, daily, really, I don't want to read the news because every day Europe is upset with the Iranian growing nuclear system. America is not happy. America is concerned about, oh, come on. What did you do against it? When you were not happy with the Iraqi nuclear facility, you conspired and immediately, and Iran helped you, by the way, you destroyed and bombed this. So I think talking about nuclear Iranian weapon is nothing more than a marketing, a scarecrow to the Gulf. Yeah, give us money. You don't give money? We're concerned about the nuclear weapons in Iran. So, you know what this means? Give us money. That's what it means. I swear by Allah, even your people are not happy with your democracy because they're looking for something spiritual. They're looking for, having back morality, decency. They're not happy with this way of life that you made them believe that this is your happiness. Well, if they're happy, why they're committing suicide? Look, despite all the difficulty and the hell that people are living in our Muslim countries, compare our rare cases of suicide to the cases of suicide in those luxurious countries. And the first of them is Sweden. People are not happy. I went to Sweden many times. You want anything materialistic that makes you happy? Get it. But people are not happy because they're still feeling the ignoring of their spiritual side. The only side that is activated and granted for them is the physical one, the materialistic one. Fornication, anything facility. But not the spiritual one, though. That's why many of them, they go to Thailand, India. They're looking for anything that can fill this spiritual gap in them, because your lifestyle made them losing this kind of spirituality. And I swear by Allah, they find it in the Islam which you are fighting and resisting. Islam is the best solution for mankind, because it is the true religion. If it's the true religion, it's from Allah, the one who knows best what is best for people, for people's dignity and cheerfulness, happiness. Thank you. Goodbye.